Hi, my name's Dan Nichols. I'm just doing this because I was talking to Charles the other day, and we were just discussing small businesses. And I've been self-employed since I got out of high school in 1985. And I don't know, it was about 6 months ago or so. My wife burnt a dozen eggs at our house, and I started doing some research. I mean, they were hard-boiled eggs, right? Burned them to a crisp, charcoal. 3.5 hours later, came back after shopping, and there they were. And I thought to myself, dang, how am I going to get rid of this smell in the house? I mean, burning protein. I always tell people, if you've ever burnt your hair or something, you can smell that burning protein. Imagine that times like 50 billion, right? I mean, that's how the house smelled, stinky protein. Here's the deal though. Being an entrepreneur as long as I have been in multiple businesses, service industries, product sales, internet stuff, all that, I can't ever help but to wonder about opportunity every time things happen. So I did a little research on ozonation and what that meant, and I ran across this guy that reminded me of a mad scientist that built this amazing machine. Turns out it's Charles, right? So I decided, well, I know what type of technology the rental stores locally had, which was the mica plate type ozonators, and I knew what Charles talked about, which was this really kind of high-end, really cool, powerful machine. And I couldn't resist. The entrepreneur in me could not resist. I decided I'm going to buy the business kit. So I spent, between, I don't even really actually remember what it was, but over $1,500. But I bought a few machines. So I bought this little business startup kit. And I bought it because I thought to myself, if I'm going to buy this thing, I'll just rent it out to some people on the side once in a while and make a few bucks. Long story short, I throw up a website, and I know a little about that stuff. I throw up a website and I start getting calls, and that was as hard as I worked right there. Threw up a website, WordPress website. It took me about 5 minutes. Anyway, so getting away from it's hard for me not to talk about the entrepreneur side, but I can't help it. Anyway, here it is. Long story short, I buy these machines, I throw up a website, and now every time I rent them out, I'd go over to people's house, I set them up in their house, and I charge them a few $100, $300. That's what I charge them. Could I get more? Yeah, and I'm trying to work out my pricing right now and everything. But as far as businesses go, and I've been in multiple businesses. I just shared a couple of them: landscaping, entertainment, video production, and sales. All sorts of different things that I've done. Probably, arguably 6 or 7. I'm still self-employed to this day in another industry completely. But this is like this little side business thing that I got, and it works. And I got to tell you, in a way, I almost didn't want to do this testimonial. And I told Charles, I'm like, damn, it's a cool business. I don't want a whole bunch of people getting into it. And that's the neat thing about Ozone. It's a sciencey, kind of goofy, oddball niche. But that's what makes it so cool. That's what makes it so great. Because there's not a lot of people competing to get in it. But lots of people have stinky houses or mold issues or bad odors in their house. And they need this. So even as a side business or full-time, you could run it either way. It's amazing. It's amazing. Because you take these boxes, you walk in, you drop them in strategic locations and leave. And that's it. You come back a few hours later, set the timers, and pick them up. In fact, earlier today, I took my dad out on a run. Why? Because he's retired. And I thought, Dad, I'll pay you $50. You sit in the car, go have a coffee for a few hours, go to a local restaurant or whatever, and then go back and pick them up when it's done. That's what's so great about this business. You can say that about very few businesses. Anyway, so that's just kind of a thing I wanted to share with you. Charles has, it's a really awesome product, great product, sturdy, durable, kick out the ozone. They always impress the guys. I pop them open and show them the internal parts of it. Anyway, as a business goes, I think the ozone thing is a really cool thing. And I barely scratch the surface, and I don't do anything. And I can have the thing make me $300 every week, no problem, with barely even pushing it. I make it super simple for myself. It's too far away, I don't bother driving. So, or even having somebody else drive. That's what I'm doing now. I'm working into that phase of it where I'm going to set up a retiree and just have the retiree go drop the machines, and then I'll pay them $50 and I'll keep $250 to $300 for myself. Pure profit. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope it helps out. Maybe encourages you. Maybe it'll help out Charles' business. Thank you, and enjoy the ozonators.